Yo, welcome and welcome back to the motherfucking Vibe Tribe. If you're not part of the Vibe Tribe, what are you doing? Anyway, guys, I hope y'all having a blessed day. Hey, shout out to the person in the comment that told me, I think your name was Michael Mitchell. Excuse me if I'm butchering that, but shout out to you, bro. Anyways, I just wanted to come on here and talk about, I. When I was younger, I'm 18. I'm 18. But when I was younger, I had to grow up really fast. I'm an only child. I have no siblings, and my parents would often leave. And so at first I was like scared of the dark and shit, but that ended real quick, like like six, right? At like six. But I don't know why that number is ruined for me. Anyway, I was like six. And I got used to being alone, right? And when it came to other people, I would oftentimes get upset when we didn't see eye to eye. And it would cause real arguments. And I would be hot-headed. And I didn't know how to control my temper. I only knew these. Like, I wanted to really fight. And I remember this one time, I was so upset because a kid had slapped me. A kid slapped me like back to back to back, and I gave him many chances. Mind you, I'm like, I don't even want to say 8, maybe 7. At the time, it was like in elementary school or whatever. But he like made me really upset, and I body slammed his ass. I'm like literally took the air out of his body, and I didn't know what to do. I was low-key panicking because I was hoping that he wasn't, and his mother was standing right there. And I was just so upset. I was furious, and I really had no outlet to point that anger. And so over time, it just builds up and up and up, because, I didn't see eye to eye with damn near anyone. I didn't know that I was chosen. You might be the same way on the other side of the screen. But, so a hothead in recovery, hothead turned to people pleaser. I used to look for external validation everywhere, literally trying to please everyone and their fucking dog, when in reality, I just needed to point that focus towards myself to get to where I wanted to go, But that's okay. Hothead in recovery, people pleaser in recovery, very impatient. Once I got older, around 15 to 18, I started using drugs. I was using alcohol and like Percocets and yeah. I'm not like judging anyone. Like that's not my job. I want to be able to change your heart, because it's never too late. Even if you do those things and your heart is in the right place, God is with you. You feel me? But you have to want to get better. You can't be in your situation asking God for all these signs and answers, and then once he gives you the signs and answers, you don't even use it. You go back to your old way of doing things. That's not how we are supposed to evolve, right? And if you think about it like that, like I'm constantly evolving and getting 1% better each day, in 100 days, you're going to get 100% better, right? Basically, what I'm trying to say is that I'm not perfect. No one is perfect. That is part of being human. Imperfect is quite literally being human. And if anyone has told you that perfect is possible for humans, they're lying. Because they're not perfect. Not even the greats are perfect. Not even the entire earth isn't perfect. We have windstorms, we have natural disasters, and it's part of the imperfection of nature, of life. I'm getting real passionate because, bro, oh my gosh, dude. And I'm really not here to convince anybody. I just want to be able to share my story on a deeper level and get y'all to, understand me on a deeper level. But yeah, I was an addict in all types of things. And I had dropped out. This was recently. I dropped out recently, and everybody turned their back on me because they didn't believe in me. So I turned my back on them and focused on the Most High, focused on myself. That's the best thing that you can do. My name was dragged through the dirt. Like, my reputation fucked. I got burned. And I got burned twice. If you know what I mean, then you know what I mean. And that's not something to play about, because it's actually very serious. And it's actually way more common than we think, And yeah. Health, I'm talking like mental health, I'm talking physical health, I'm talking spiritual health. Like, my health was fucked, depleted for about 2 years straight. Like, I wanted to unalive for a very long time. I did not want to be here, but something was telling me that I have a greater calling, a greater purpose, a bigger reason to be here, And so I had to literally pull myself up alongside the Most High out of the dirt. It felt like I was just going through the motion. It just felt like I wasn't even here, like detached completely. And on top of that, on top of just that, because this is only a small portion, and I understand that, there's so much more to your story as well. And it's just waiting to be expressed, honestly. But after I dropped out, I had to be isolated. And this isolation required me to be homeless. I was homeless for a little bit. And it wasn't like the best experience, but it taught me so much. And I'm so grateful for it, because it literally showed me how to be in my masculine way more, but also living a softer masculine life. Because it's very possible. You don't always have to do. This is for my men. You don't always have to do, and then expect to hold up all this pressure. Because there's a lot of pressure being put on masculines in general. We're sought as the providers. We're sought as everything in between, because you are. And if for my ladies, just understand that, just give your man grace if you have one. But, and even for the ladies too, because I'm non-binary personally. I'm not a male or female. I know how to be in my feminine and in my masculine. So I understand both worlds. Like, I had to grow up with females because those were the only people that wasn't intimidated by me. You understand? So anyways, basically what I'm trying to say is that there's just so much to be learned in every single lesson. There's so much to be integrated in every single situation. From being an addict to being homeless to not knowing how you're going to eat at night, it sharpens your blade. It sharpens your blade. Now imagine a golden blade, right? This is you, a golden blade, but it's just the block. You're not attacking anyone. You're too dull, right? But you take those experiences, you take the heat press, you pow, 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 right? You know what I'm talking about? Like the forager. That's the analogy that I'm using. But you forging it and you sharpening the blade. But not only that, you're being heated up, you're being pressed, you're being pushed, you're being all this turbulent. But at the end of it, you pick the sword up and you can see your fucking reflection in it. It's so sharp that even, oh my gosh, dude, it's so sharp and so heated. It doesn't cool down. It's like the phoenix, bro. It's ready to rise. Bear with me. This is like my first time actually opening up to people that I don't know. But I know you guys on the soul level. Come on now. This is the motherfucking Vibe Tribe. Anyway. Anyway, I hope you guys can get something out of this. I don't know if this is going to be like a longer video or not, but yeah, there's a lot more to my story. There's a lot more to your story, you know? And being able to embrace the ups and downs, you're unstoppable. You're unstoppable. You've been through all those things and you're still here. You've been through all those things and yet you're still looking and wanting to spread love and positivity. That's powerful in and of itself. You know, when we stop focusing on the downsides of things and really look at how things can go up, the downsides just become another up because it strengthens you. It strengthened you. It literally got you to this point. It built the foundation for your mental, your physical, and your spiritual growth. And, you know, luckily, nothing, you know, went left for me, you know, because it really could have got bad. I was in situations where it wasn't up to me. Like, for an example, right? I was in the car with my cousin and, you know, chiefing, driving reckless. In my life, I put my life in jeopardy. They put their life and my life in jeopardy. I wasn't the one driving. I was in the passenger seat. And it gave me a lot of anxiety. It made my nervous system fucked. Like, my nervous system fucked for years, bro. And it took a lot of work to really get out of that drought. And I want you to know that it's not impossible. It's just going to take work. Just the same way that it took work to get out of that mental mindset of, you know, like the lack and the lower vibrations, because that's really what it is. That's really what it wants. That's what the devils and the demons want. They want you in that mental space. They want you to not feel okay. They want you to not feel worthy. But that's not what you are. On a soul level, you're worth everything. You're more than enough. More than enough. And for certain people, you're going to be just enough. And for certain people, you won't be enough. But they're not enough for themselves. You get me? Anyway, all in all, bro, I hope you guys are just spreading love, walking in faith and not by sight. I love you guys so much, dude. Like, yo, shout out to the motherfucking Vibe Tribe, bro. Anyway, I hope you guys, I hope this like helped you understand me a little bit more and understand yourself a little bit more, you know, on a soul level. I don't know when I'm uploading this, whether it's morning, afternoon, or day. Have a great rest. Have a great rest of your day, yo. Peace, love.